What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Pro Mormon Podcast. My name is Philip, and I think we're on episode 6 now, so that's awesome. Thank you so much to everyone who's been taking the time to listen or watch or however this has been going on. I really appreciate that, and I appreciate the feedback I've been receiving from people, so thank you so much. As always, you can follow me on the social media links that are below. If you've been following me on Instagram at all lately, you know I've been kind of posting a bunch of pictures from my mission, the temple from my mission, things like that. And I'm not exactly sure why, but I've been on kind of this mission kick, where you kind of relive the mission a little bit. And for those who don't know, I actually served my mission in the Panama City, Panama mission, which obviously is the best mission in the world. But I loved my mission. I loved my mission so much. You can see behind me, there's actually a picture up here from my good friend Eric Bennett. That picture is from Panama. If you follow me on Instagram, I've been posting a lot of stuff from Panama, and it was amazing, right? But it's kind of got me thinking about why do we constantly look back on our missions as such these great times in our lives? I mean, there's movies called The Best 2 Years, which is called that because people refer to their missions as the best 2 years of their life to that point usually, and sometimes their best 2 years, period. And it kind of made me start to think, why is it that missions are so impactful and so great? I think there's a lot of reasons, honestly, and I don't want to dive into all of the reasons why serving a mission can be so impactful in your life or whatever, but I kind of want to talk about, from my personal point of view, why my mission stood out to me, and maybe this will relate to some other people as well, and we'll kind of have something in common. But to explain this, we got to talk about one of my favorite movies of all time. My top 5 favorite movie list is kind of weird because a lot of them are going to be Lord of the Rings, things like that. They're a little more predictable. But one of my top 5 that I always tell people, and it kind of catches them off guard, is a movie called The Legend of Bagger Vance. Most people have never even heard of this movie. It's actually a movie about golf, and it stars Matt Damon and Will Smith, which is really famous guys, right? So it's kind of weird that people haven't heard about this movie. But the movie, kind of get down to the bottom of it, there's a guy, it takes place in Georgia back in the 40s. There was a guy who, when he was really young, was a great golfer, went off to fight in, I think it was World War I, came back, totally changed person, and they always talk about how he couldn't find his swing, right? He kind of lost himself. And the game of golf, as he finds his swing, helps him find his life again, right? So there's some parallels between golf and life in this movie. And it's a great movie. It's based off a book, which is also a great book, which I've read as well. Highly recommend it. I love it. Just great lessons that can come out of it. But the part I want to talk about right now that relates to, at least to my mission, is there's a part where everyone's gathering for this big golf tournament that the main character is going to be taking place in. And when they all kind of gather together, they're talking to this one reporter, and everyone kind of asks, why does everyone care about golf so much? And he talks about how golf is this cruel mistress, right? How it's very hard on people. It'll break your will to live. It drives you crazy, but we keep coming back because what golf will do is you'll have a terrible round of golf, but you'll hit 1 or 2 shots, right? That you just hit perfect, straight down the fairway, a perfect putt, whatever it is, right? And in that moment, you were a perfect golf player, right? And he talks about how it gave you a taste of what you could be if you did this all the time, right? And because you had that taste, you will ever be trapped by this sport. You'll keep coming back to it, even though it tortures you and it drives you crazy, but it gave you a taste. And right when I read that, because that part was in the book, I think it's mentioned in the movie as well, but it's in the book. Right when I read that, it kind of just hit me that that to me was kind of how my mission was, right? There was parts of it that were that drove you crazy. There are parts of it that were frustrating and irritating, but there are also parts that are so rewarding, and it gives you a taste a little glimpse of your potential, of what you could be if you dedicated yourself to this all the time. As a missionary, you're asked to do things that are very different than the typical commandments and guidelines of the church, right? You're asked to kind of go above and beyond, and you separate yourself. And because of this separation process, you really kind of step away from the normal world, so to speak, and you really get to see kind of your potential, right? If I were to dedicate 24 hours a day, give up all of these things that were part of my life before, this is what I could accomplish. This is what the Lord could do through me if I kind of wasn't holding him back, so to speak, right? And to me, that thought process, that concept was powerful, because people always look back on their mission, not just for the experiences they had, but the things that they learned during their time, during their companionship studies and their personal studies then, because we're so dedicated and you had the Spirit more strongly. The things they learned in a sacrament meeting there, but we don't really hear those stories just going to your normal sacrament meeting in your normal ward, right? We hear these stories all the time. Oh, this one time in my mission I did this. This one time in my mission I did that. And I'm no different. I refer to my mission all the time. I'm not saying I'm any different. But I think the reason is that it gave you that glimpse of your potential if you were to truly give that much of yourself to the Lord all the time, right? We learn enough lessons in a 2-year period for some people to kind of carry them over for who knows how long, right? I have friends that I will talk to that have kind of fallen away, and they will refer to these amazing experiences they had on their mission, but how they haven't had basically anything like that since, which is sad, right? But the mission is so powerful because you really step away from everything, and it gives you that glimpse, right? I keep saying that term. It gives you a little glimpse of what you could be. Just like golf, you'll hit that one good shot, right? And you're like, whoa, imagine if I practice as much as Tiger Woods. Imagine if I could hit those approach shots like Phil Mickelson or whatever, right? Because these guys dedicate so much time to it. And to me, I think a lot of that goes that way. Is very similar with mission stuff, right? If I got rid of all these distractions and I dedicated that much time to scripture study and to prayer and to visiting other people and thinking of their needs over my own, imagine what else the Lord could accomplish through me. Right? Gives you that glimpse. To me, that is so cool, and I think it's something that we often kind of wonder. We all love our missions, and we kind of wonder, why can't I have those experiences so more in my normal day-to-day life? It's like these amazing experiences on the mission, and you don't really get them as often, right? I think it gives you this great glimpse and this great blueprint of how to get to that level, right? Kind of follow some of the same habits that you developed on your mission. All right, so that's all I want to talk about today. It's a really quick one. I don't know. I think go ahead and follow me on Instagram. I'm posting a bunch of pictures about my mission and stuff lately. But if you haven't served a mission, I would invite you to really consider it. Missions are amazing. You'll be able to do more in that time period than you probably will for other people for the rest of your life. You're so dedicated to the Lord, and He's able to work through you so efficiently if you do things the right way and you're obedient. So if you have not served a mission and you're thinking about it, really consider it. It's an amazing opportunity. It is hard. It is very difficult. And just like I mentioned, how golf, it can be bitter and it can be hard and beat you up. Your missions are the same way, but they're going to give you those moments where you really get a glimpse of what you could be in the Lord's hands, right? Really helps you see who you could be. And that's what hooks you and kind of keeps you coming back. You keep coming back to it. And if you have served a mission already, I would strongly encourage you to do things that remind you of your mission, right? Go back, read your mission journals, read your old emails you sent to people that are explaining what you were doing. Go look at your pictures, anything that will kind of spark an interest and some memory into what it was that you were doing as a missionary, right? I'm going to leave that little challenge with you. if you haven't served a mission and you're kind of thinking about it, really give it some consideration, because I think it's the best thing that you can do, and I think you will not regret it. And if you have served a mission, do what you can to try to come back to it a little bit. Remember what it was that made it seem so special, right? I'm going to leave you with that. And hopefully you're still enjoying some of these things here. I really appreciate you taking the time to listen and watch these episodes. It really means a lot to me. And thanks for the feedback. As always, if there's any questions or comments or anything like that, please leave them in the comment section below. I try to get back to people as quickly as I can. Reach out to me on other forms of social media like Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, you name it. They're all linked below. And if you don't have time to watch these videos or something like that, you can go to SoundCloud. I have them all posted on SoundCloud as well, totally free. You can listen to them there, and that way you can actually have them like on your phone without having to like actually have it on all the time. You can actually turn the screen off and still listen to it in your car, headphones, however you want to do it. So check me out there as well if you don't have time to actually watch it on YouTube. I'm still trying to work on getting them on like iTunes and stuff like that, but I'm not that great with this, so be patient with me. I'll get there. That's all I got for you today, everyone. Thank you so much for taking the time, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.